Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Craig Burley, Stevie Nicol and Stuart Robson. We'll kick things off by taking a look at Arsenal's activity this week in the transfer market. They've been somewhat behind Liverpool, haven't they, since everything kicked off this summer. However, suggestions that Madueke is a done deal, making an over £50 million move from Chelsea to Arsenal. Mr. Burley, does this get you excited?
Not really. I mean,
What does get you excited?
Should start with 18 holes around the best course in the world. There we are.
That's been about an hour. No, look, I think he's a good player, and obviously he's really come through in the last couple of years at Chelsea in the wider positions, and he's been one of their more consistent players at times at taking people on and running at people. We were just talking before we came on air. Could you sit here and say, even if he was at Chelsea next year, with the wide players that they've brought in, would he be a guaranteed starter? And I think that's up for debate. So you're spending a lot of money again on a player from Chelsea.
Does he start for Arsenal?
Well, he's predominantly played on the right, so he's not starting ahead of Saka. I would suggest that Martinelli on the other side has that slot until he shows maybe a lack of form or a lack of consistency. We've seen Trossard go out there. So, no, he's not a starter at Arsenal. So, to me, he's beefing up his squad here. Obviously, Norgard coming in from Brentford, who I think is a good signing at that money. I think he's a really, really solid, aggressive midfielder. But I think he's beefing up the squad for when needed. So, but that's a lot of money, and I understand that in a sense. But he's been in this... He has fished in the Chelsea pool, Kepa? Mm-hmm. Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Jorginho, who
originally
did, at times did a decent job, but he seems to have gone to this particular point quite a lot and hasn't had a lot of success. Havertz has been okay, but he hasn't taken them. Havertz hasn't taken them to the next level, and you have to ask the question: will Madueke in a wide position take them to the next level? And I don't think he does. I think he just beefs up the squad.
What does Madueke bring you? What are his qualities?
Well, for me, his best quality is the fact that when he gets in the final third, he'll take people on. That's what I like about him. I would say that the end product is not always as good as... he's one of those guys that when he gets it, you sit up because you go, you know what he's going to do. You know he's going to go at somebody. But then he can also stand on it, run out of play with it. So I don't see the upgrade with Martinelli.
Your mic rustling there, Steve. There you go. Just so everyone can hear you clearly.
Thank you. I don't see an upgrade from Martinelli. I think I 100% agree with Craig that he's beefing out his squad so that he can save what he probably perceives as a starting 11 for the big games and for the Champions League. I think that's what he's doing.
God, I was going to go to you on Madueke, but he's quite boring. Let's talk about Gyökeres, shall we? And the possibility of a striker coming in, which we've all been calling out for. When it comes to Arsenal, saying this is what they need. Is he the striker they need?
Yes, to a certain degree, because he scores goals. And he's done it for 2 seasons at Sporting. He did it on a regular basis for Coventry. And that's where I was surprised that nobody took him when he was at Coventry in the Premier League, because I knew 2 or 3 people up there that kept saying, come on, have a watch of him. He's an out-and-out, really good...
Same to you?
Well, people that I played with.
Right.
And saying, we've got a player here that's an outstanding player, and what he's doing playing for us, we're not quite sure how we got him. It's amazing. And he's good with his back to goal. He'll roll defenders. He's a good box player. He'll score goals, but he will score goals by himself. He doesn't need other players always to make the chances. People can roll the ball into his feet, and he can twist and turn and get shots away. So I would say he's an all-round centre-forward, but he's going to have to start well because he's going to be under pressure, as is the manager, Arteta. And that's the one area where I think he's trying to improve the team, and I agree with what they're both saying. He's really trying to improve the squad with the other players. Maybe Zubimendi will be a starter. He's going to be a main starter for them, and it will be Gyökeres, if they can get him, he will be a main starter. The other players are squad players, so that when people criticise them for, they can't do it on this day and they can't do it on that day, he's now got the squad to make them a much better team.
But they don't need a striker, do they?
Well,
no, but we sat here, right? We've sat here for 2 years, and been told, journalists.
There's
right?
none on today.
Huh?
There's no journalist.
Journalists. Tell you, right? Just don't listen. Well, Arteta likes to play a different way. He loves to press, and Kai Havertz loves to press and press this and press that and press the next thing. And we're saying, every top team pretty much is looking for somebody, no matter whether they press, no matter whether they have 70% possession, no matter whether they play long balls, whatever it is, wide players, 3 up front, they're looking for somebody to score damn goals.
Right.
Every team.
And is he the answer?
Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Is he going to get goals for Arsenal?
Well,
is he going to close the gap on Liverpool? Is he going to be responsible for doing that?
Well, if he doesn't, Mikel Arteta's in a whole world of pain, isn't he? A whole world of pain.
Do you think so?
Oh, how long's a piece of string? We had this discussion actually with Julian a couple of 10 days ago or whatever it was. If he doesn't win anything this year, is he sacked? And I'm not sure he is, because it depends on. There's losing and then there's how you lose. So for example, if he goes all the way to the last game of the season and it's the last kick of the ball and you lose the league or the Champions League, you're not going to get sacked. But if you're sitting 3rd or 4th in the league and Liverpool or City or whoever it is has won the league by March or April and you've spent another couple $100 million, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
So he's going to need, if he signs that, he's going to need this guy to score the goals.
Make no mistake about it. He wanted, when we talk about Arteta and he said, I don't need a centre forward, it's because he hasn't got one. Because when they bought Jesus, the best that Arsenal played in the last 2 or 3 years was when Jesus was playing through the middle. And he played brilliantly for half a season. And they were saying what a great signing it is, and they were winning everything. They were top of the table by quite some way. It was the year when Man City caught them up eventually. It was when he got injured and then didn't come back and play quite so well, and they couldn't find anybody to fit that role. Suddenly, I don't really need a centre forward. We can play in different ways.
Yeah.
He wanted a centre forward all along. He's just...
Well, this is an Arsenal team. Let's not forget who went for Ollie Watkins on the last day.
Yeah.
Well, if you're Liverpool, you must feel a bit left out, because they're going for Chelsea players, they're going for City players, and none of them really have worked. He brought in Zinchenko, because I think he knew him from when he was coaching there. He brought in Gabriel Jesus, who at the time I thought, needs maybe to get away from City, but it hasn't worked. We've talked about all the Chelsea players that he's brought in, so he does seem to be very narrow in terms of where he's been bringing these players in from. But make no bones about it, if he gets all these sort of ducks in a row here with the signings, and they get it done nice and early, and they can go and have a full pre-season, there is not going to be any excuses. And I don't expect there to be, because this Arsenal squad, whether it's Madueke, when Madueke comes in, Gyökeres eventually I think will come in, Zubimendi, the other bits and pieces around it, it does look on the face of it a squad of players that will challenge Liverpool for sure.
Regardless of the squad, them signing Gyökeres absolutely 100% puts them in the title race.
Right.
Because look at the amount of games they drew last year. And if you've got a guy who's a bona fide centre forward who can get goals if he's set up, who will take chances, will get opportunities from the rest of the team around him, but who can also create something for himself from nothing, that's 100% the biggest thing they were missing. Somebody, just somebody who knows what they're doing in the penalty area, knows where the goal is, doesn't have to get his head up, just instinctively knows where it is. This is going to make a huge difference to this team. And whether Madueke is any good or not, or Zubimendi, the biggest difference is going to be this guy. As Craig said, he's going to be under pressure. But you know what? He's talented and he's proven he can score goals. I don't see how he doesn't make them much better.
And Liverpool don't have that, do they?
No, that's very true.
I mean, they have obviously one of the...
They've got kind of a...
They've
got more guys that can
the worry
score
I have,
goals as opposed to a goal.
The worry I would have from a Liverpool perspective is that the continuation of the leaning heavily on Mo Salah just continuing, and the vein that he has been, which has been incredible, because we've said it all along. He's scoring more goals than most decent or good number 9s. He's scoring more than most other number 9s in the Premier League, and dare I say it, around Europe. And I know he signed this new contract, and all the Saudi Arabia stuff has gone away. But he's what, 30, I think he's 32 or thereabouts, 32, 33. It's difficult to keep asking somebody to score 30 goals from the wide position.
And what's his main attribute? What's the one thing that gets him in behind defenders is that blistering pace. And if you get older, you're going to lose that pace. Will he be the same player? It might be one day when you find out, I went for that run and it didn't quite happen for me. And that's when you lose your confidence as a player. So hopefully, I don't want him to do that, but that's the danger with signing a player on a massive contract when he's getting older and older.
But there has to be a contingency for slot. nobody's writing anybody off here because his stats are there for all to see. It's brilliant, but Mother Nature has a tendency, and obviously players lose. Messi and Ronaldo apart in our generation, they've been the only two that have churned out a decade plus of numbers that are off the stratosphere. You know, Mo Salah's last few years have been off the stratosphere. Arne Slot at Liverpool must have some sort of contingency to say, listen, what do I do if Mo Salah or Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo, if they're having a tough time, where do I go? Where do I go to the bet and say, right, they're having a bit of a tough time at the moment. I need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. That has to be something that's in the back of his